Wie wäre es, weniger Zeit mit dem Einkauf zu verbringen und dafür mehr Zeit für deine Lieblingspodcasts zu haben? Mit dem Rewe Abholservice geht das. Bestell deinen Einkauf einfach online und hol ihn bequem und fertig gepackt im Markt ab. Natürlich ohne Mindestbestellwert. So bleibt dir mehr Zeit für die nächste Podcast-Folge oder deine Lieblingstracks. Jetzt ausprobieren auf rewe.de/shop oder in der Rewe-App. Dein Rewe Abholservice. Online bestellen, im Markt abholen.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
It's a hard thing for me to admit, except I know we've all been there, and so I want to talk about it. I have placed many people in the last 5 years, and many are very happy. I rarely hear from those people, but you hear from the ones who are miserable. And so I thought of someone I'd placed about 3 years ago today, and I sent her a little note on LinkedIn. It was just like, you crossed my mind. How are things? I see you landed a new job like 6 months ago. And I got back a scathing note of how she hated the job I placed her in. It was the most toxic environment she's ever been in. She can't believe
What's going on, everybody? Ryan Leary here, along with Mr. William Tincup. How are you today, Mr. William?
I'm good. It's beautiful outside, so no worries.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. At least up here, for me, it is beautiful. A little chilly, but we're good. So welcome to the Practitioner's Corner. Glad to have you all here today. Today we have a special guest, Miss Laura Mazzullo, and it's Mazzullo. Is that how you say it?
We're doing a little Italian lesson before the
yes,
Mazzullo. Yeah, Mazzullo.
Welcome.
English, but yes.
Just got hungry.
Yeah.
Just got hungry. Thanks.
Yeah. So Laura's with the founder of Eastside Staffing. We've known Laura for quite some time, and I believe this is the first time we've had her on a show. Is this, or did I miss a show?
I've had her on
something.
shows.
Yeah, done some audio.
That tells you how much I've listened to the other shows.
No worries.
No harm. Laura, why don't you take a moment, introduce yourself, and let everyone know a little bit about you.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. And yes, I am Laura Mazzullo. I own Eastside Staffing, which is a recruiting firm based in Manhattan that I've had for 11 years this month, which is quite impressive considering how fast 11 years seems to have gone.
Golf clap.
And I recruit specifically for the HR community, which includes TA. So I have the unique perspective of discussing what it's like to be a candidate and a hiring manager within our space as well. So William and I do tend to like to get into deep discussions about kind of the psychology behind all of that and how it feels not only to be the practitioner in our space, but sometimes those other roles too. So excited to be here and get into a deep dive.
First of all, Ryan pronounced your name Laura.
Yeah.
And
no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said Laura.
That's not how you said it before. Hey, but
how did I say it? I'm gonna play the tape back.
All right. It's Laura. Laura.
There's no other way to pronounce it.
But I think it's like a southern. Where are you from, Ryan?
Philadelphia.
Yeah. See, it's just like an accent thing.
Huh. Say water.
What's it sound like?
Laura, say water.
Water.
Well, in New York, you would say Laura, but down south, it might be Laura. You know.
Yeah.
Say Laura.
Laura. Yeah, Laura.
You know, there's a guy that I watch, fishing videos, right? Got it.
Okay.
Let me qualify that. Fishing videos. And I say fishing, I say lure, like fishing lure.
Lure?
And everyone's like, no, that's not what you say. It's like you're luring a kid in. I'm like, no, it's a lure.
Lure.
He says like Laura.
Lure.
I can't say. I don't know how to say it.
I can't think of any other pronunciation for that word other than lure. So.
Me neither.
He says water with
Laura.
an O.
Laura.
Water.
Laura.
Water.
Yeah.
He says it with
so
an
17 minutes in, we're talking about Laura.
100%.
So in
as we should.
At an Italian lesson, in Italian, it's Laura. So maybe you want to do
that.
That's pretty.
Laura Mazzullo.
I don't hate that.
Mazzullo.
So
okay,
so you give the unique pleasure, pain of working with HR as clients and their staffing budget, etc., and then placing HR, and again the spectrum from HR operations to TA, etc. So what's the customer like? What's the HR customer that's buying staffing or recruiting from you? What are they like? What are
Yeah.
they like when you deal with them?
I think they're the hardest customer of all based on my conversations with peers of mine.
Yeah,
This has been my only customer since 2007. So I kind of have a very siloed lens on it. But when I talk to people
right,
where their clients are finance or legal or media or marketing, they describe something I've never quite experienced. I tend to have people who feel a lot of shame about needing my help. They feel embarrassed they need my help. They want to do it themselves. So they're coming to me a little disgruntled, typically not excited about it. I
right,
have to win them over to remind them that it's not a failure. But they don't have to, my peers don't have to go through any of that. It's just like, oh, we're
right.
excited to have your help. Great. So I have to kind of get through an initial guilt,
Because
shame ridden thing.
they believe they should understand the game well enough that they should play the game
Yeah.
themselves.
Yep.
Okay,
And the same is true on the job
It's
seeking side. I
interesting.
think they feel kind of embarrassed to have me review a resume, or they feel sort of like, embarrassed to have me look at a LinkedIn profile. And I'm always reminding them that it's impossible to review your own person that way. This is you.
that's
Of
right.
course, you need somebody else to
Yeah.
look at it. So there's just a removal of that embarrassment that I think is an old school concept, but it's there.
Is that is that embarrassment? It's still there. You're saying that I mean, when I was in staffing, I remember trying to get in and sell in and all of that stuff, and having to fight against that. But I thought that'd be gone by now. I mean, it's part of you're a tool in their tool chest. Like you're part of the
Yeah.
process.
I think when your client is head of marketing, head of sales, head of finance, and
Right.
legal, it's gone because they understand it's
Yeah.
part of their budget and it doesn't matter. And we're going to use an external search firm and we have no shame about the game.
Mhm.
I think when you're a head of people or a head of recruiting or a head of talent development and you have to call a search firm, you're a little kind of confused why your team didn't do it. And I don't
Right.
agree. I think that it's like saying, William's an artist and maybe he would have a lesson, or you're a fisherman and maybe you would have a one-to-one lesson with a professional fisherman, right? Like you wouldn't feel like,
100%.
oh gosh, that's means I'm awful at this. But,
I wonder if
No,
it's
I
the
pay guides all the time.
exactly.
yeah. I
Happily.
wonder how much of that is self-inflicted versus their peer group and what the pressure they feel from their own peers as well. Like we we had to use an outside firm as opposed to we chose to
Yeah.
use someone that's an expert in the field. Like
Mm.
that's a logical way, a rational way to think about it. It's like, listen, we don't recruit HR professionals all that often. We recruit a lot of technical talent or legal talent or whatever talent that it is. So why wouldn't we use a specialist? And again, I don't understand why there would be, unless the pressure is the rest of the team. Say, well, we could do this ourselves. And then it comes from that.
I think it's a couple of things. I think it's a self-confidence issue in this space where people feel a lot of self-blame. They should be able to do it. And
Right.
there's that kind of perfectionism and people pleasing that exists in our world, which I can certainly attest to. And then I think there's also this, if you're head of TA and you're recruiting for a role on your team, and now you know you need external help, to your point, William, the perception might be, why couldn't you fill this job? It's sort of like this little,
Right.
meta
It's
thing.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the most confident hiring managers that come to me have let themselves get work through that. They've said to me, they might even admit it. Look, a couple years ago, I would have said to you, this is hard for me to come to you, but I am thrilled to have your help. I'm going to delegate this to you. I'd love your wisdom. I'll take your guidance. Just take this off our plate and teach us stuff. But that's the rarer
Right.
few. It's where I'd hope to
If,
see us all moving, right, in a more confident direction.
if money weren't an issue, would you say no to people that don't get that?
I think I still say no, even when I could use it, right? Or I
Right.
can't really work with, it's very hard for me to work with people who don't really want my help. It can be a
Yeah.
very tense dynamic. And so I appreciate that question. Yeah, I've found over the years that unless they're really willing to receive my help, it's a very tense dynamic.
Well, you're already pushing a boulder uphill.
Yes.
If they don't trust you
Yes.
and they don't respect you enough to then say you're the expert. In fact, years ago, it was 100 years ago, when I did more in marketing and owned an agency on that side of thing, there would be times when I'd be in a client meeting and they would be talking as if they were experts. And I would say, raise your hand if you're the fucking expert in the room.
Right.
Yeah. All you motherfuckers, lower your hand, because this is what I do. You do it partially. That's cool. I just patted you on the head. I do it all fucking day, every day, and got hundreds, if not thousands, of client experiences. That would, again, that's kind of a blunt, that's extremely blunt way to do that. But at one point, you've got to let experts be experts.
Yeah.
That's why you hire
Yeah.
experts. It's for their expertise. You don't hire them and then go, let me take all your expertise and I'll put it to where my expertise is better than your expertise.
I want to hear. I'm going to say your name, Laura. Laura is Lora. It doesn't work.
Laura.
I just can't.
All
I
right,
can't.
whatever
You did Laura.
I want to hear Laura.
That's Laura. See, there's no you in that. Just saying.
Laura. What I'm going to be saying this all day, Laura. All right, I want to hear Laura say what you just said. I think we need to toughen her up.
Oh.
And this is how you need to talk to your clients. I think she's got to say it. I think she's got to go through this role play with us.
Yeah.
She's just like, yeah, no, not
No,
happening.
I'm having a thought as William was saying that, because actually, yeah, cut me some slack, Ryan. I've got the New York Italian.
You've already got enough guilt. You're good.
Nobody likes New York as it is.
Right.
So you're
I've got
at a bad spot.
I think when I start, William knows this because we've talked about this. I started offering coaching for internal recruiters because what was happening was heads of HR, executives, whoever, were coming to me and blaming their internal recruiters for exactly your point. So they'd say, we've hired this expert and paying them $150,000 a year and they're awful, and I need you to run this search. And I'd say, well, wait a second. If they're awful, let me make them better. There must be something they're stuck on. There must be something they need help with. And that was a very actionable way I was able to take them from just blaming them and then just like accepting that. To me, it felt like if you're on the external side of staffing, you need to be supportive of internal recruiters and vice versa. Yep, that was how I could take some control on that of like, this little process isn't sustainable. When they do it to me, like we've hired an expert and you're not doing enough, or we need you to do more. I mean, it's been a long time since that has happened because frankly, I do try to lay out exactly how I work. What we've talked about is that I get it more from candidates now because I think they have expectations that are very, very high. I think all we can keep doing is educating all the players involved that we're all just humans doing our best. So either you're going to invest some money into helping the process, but bashing each other and blaming each other is just not working.
Yeah. Do you think you're getting more of this from the candidate side or the client side?
Yeah,
That's a great question.
When I work with a new client on a search, or if they're hiring me to train or coach their team, I'm very honest about how I like to work and my style, and I'm very educational in my style. So my feeling is even if you're going to hire me to place somebody, I want to teach you along the way how I did it so you can learn a couple of things, and ideally you won't even really want to call me again because maybe we've improved your hiring process, etc. Yes.
That's a complete failure.
Yeah?
Yeah, don't teach them shit.
Right.
No, seriously, you're giving up your intellectual property, but they're not really going to learn anything, and you're just wasting your fucking time.
Really? Why aren't they learning?
Yeah, because they don't want to learn. They don't need to learn. That's why they hired you.
Yeah.
They hired you for the outcome. You teaching them how the car runs and how the air and the tires are very important and how mufflers should be clean and all that. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And nor should they, by the way.
Yeah.
They're hiring you for a reason. It's the outcome of what you do. Your process, either technological or otherwise, you can explain it. You can tell them about it. Other than that, it's results. It's results. It's the outcomes of what you do. I think where you're hurting yourself, and again, one person's opinion, is where you're hurting yourself is you're trying to get them to come along with you on this journey.
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
why are you, I mean, straight up just us talking, why?
I know, it's a great
Fuck them.
question. I think I
I
have
mean,
like
just,
too big of a
I
role.
care,
Yeah,
I care,
yeah,
I care, I care, but like pulling them along and teaching them the shit, I have no interest in that.
yeah,
First of all, if I hired you, I'm a people officer, which just the thought of me being a people officer should make a lot of people laugh.
yeah,
Just the thought of that. But I would hire you and then expect, okay, you tell me the bit. Okay, fantastic. All right, it's going to take 6 weeks. Great. We're going to talk every week. Fantastic. All right. I don't need to know fucking how you do shit.
right.
I don't want to know. Like there's only so many folders in my fucking head. I don't want to know how you do shit.
Yeah. There's
So,
probably some insecurity driving me now that I'm thinking about this, because I think there's a kind of hustle, Brene Brown calls this hustle for worthiness, right? Where you sort of want to do more and somehow that makes it
fuck
worth.
that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being honest.
Hard
I
no.
know. I know. I know.
Hustle
They
for
they
what?
know what they're paying for,
Yeah.
What they
and
hustle?
they
But
get
wait,
it. They
wait.
get it.
They don't. Okay. I'm going to give myself a little credit here. I think my population doesn't all the time. So you hit something there, Ryan. I think if I was placing head of marketing with a marketing,
Right.
they are like, whatever it costs, let's just get this done.
Yeah.
I
Right.
do think
Mhm.
in my world, they're very apprehensive. And so there's a certain what are you going to do for me to
Right.
make this cost worthy?
Well,
And
it's super simple.
yeah,
Sounds like it's time to change niches and get into marketing and
No,
salespeople.
no. You're in the right niche, and you're needed in that niche, by the way.
but it's a
It's just
tricky thing, because you're right. What I have to keep reminding them is this is just what it costs. It is what it is. Don't even think about it again. Have your CFO sign off on it and let's move forward. They can
yeah.
obsess about it off their budget.
That's their obsession.
Right.
That has nothing to like
Right.
my emergency or another person's emergency doesn't necessarily mean it's my emergency.
Oh my God. I
I'm one
have
of
this
these
written on
people.
my desk. You'll love this. Is this mine?
Yeah.
Because
YPM.
a
YPM.
head of HR named Mary once said to me, and I'll link her Twitter. She DM'd me about this once. She was like, something I've been learning is that a lot of people want to put stuff on you that isn't yours.
100%.
I was like, I never thought of that.
No, and it's their stuff that they want to go through. The thing is stepping into the authoritative position and saying, this just is what it is. I'm the expert. This is what I do every day, all day. This is what I think about. This is what I do. This is how I place. Here's my process. Here's the cost. If you want it, great. Put the coin in the slot. If you don't, fuck off.
Yes, exactly. I'm getting much better. I agree. I think that's been my biggest hurdle as a business owner, is like not hustling for it and not kind of dancing for it, or over explaining, over defending. Like even the way I used to send proposals with, like you're saying, so much explaining of the process, of the journey of it's like, I'm going to fill the job.
Yeah, here's the job. As I understand it, here's the job. We're going to do an intake. Great.
Yeah.
And this is what the bid is. Great, son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your 40-page proposal could be summed up in a paragraph, maybe.
Right.
Couple of bullet points.
ChatGPT. I'll make that motherfucker a paragraph.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is agreeing on the job, not necessarily your pelts on the wall. Like I think you're, in a way, I think you're trying to get people to acknowledge your expertise because you want to teach them things. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And fuck them for even wanting that. It's like, no, this is all my intellectual property. Over doing this for 20-something years, I've just gotten good at it. You're buying an outcome. And I want you to be happy with that outcome. Yeah. And so here's the process. Here's the fee. Do it or don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to chase you.
Right.
If you don't think that this is good for you, cool.
I'll have to find it and I'll send it to you another time. There's the little meme or video that goes around, 7-second video, where you're not paying for the time it takes you to get it done.
A lifetime.
Yeah.
I
Gary Vee
definitely
said
really
need that on my desk, Ryan. Thank you. I've
it
seen that, and
really
it really
hits
resonates.
it really hits home.
It
Yeah,
does.
because
Yeah,
people will say, you do, well, let's say a consulting gig, and it's like, well, that's a lot of money for that consulting gig. It's like, you're not paying for that consulting gig. You're
yeah,
paying for the 25 years of experience that led up to that consulting gig and all the wisdom and expertise that comes along with it. So I think, first of all, clients are always going to be a pain in the ass. Candidates are always going to be a pain in the ass, regardless of where we're working. That's just kind of their role. I kind of think of them like children on both sides.
Yeah.
Their job is to push.
Yeah.
Their job is to push, 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 push. So candidates having crazy expectations, clients having crazy expectations, that's kind of normal to me.
that's their job.
That's their job. So if they're not doing that, I kind of feel like they're not doing their job. There is a point in which that becomes not productive.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're trying to figure out is, okay, where is that threshold? Where's that line of when they have crazy expectations that you have to kind of reel them back in and go, okay, let's reset.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we understand. I told you this was going to take 6 weeks. 2 weeks into it, you said it really needs to take a month. That's not going to work.
It doesn't. Yeah.
I told you that 6 weeks. That wasn't me with a pad. That was me telling you it's going to take 6 weeks.
No. Yep.
So you're trying to change the expectation. Not going to work. Go ahead, Ryan.
We've been down that path doing research and ebooks and all that crap. It's like, oh, no, we told you this was a 12-week project.
Oh, yeah.
We really need to get it out for the end of the quarter. Well, then you should have bought it 3 months earlier.
100%.
That's just how it goes. So I was going to ask you, Laura, what is keeping you up at night? But I'm kind of feeling like we already got there.
Yeah.
No.
Once upon a mundane morning, Barb's day got busy without warning. A realtor in need of an open house sign. No, 50 of them, and designed before 9.
My head hurts.
Any mighty tools to help with this plight? Aha! Barb made her move. She opened Canva and got in the groove.
Bulk creating Canva sheets. Create 50 signs fit for suburban streets.
Done in a click, all complete.
Sweet!
Now, imagine what your dreams can become when you put imagination to work at Canva.com.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
It's feedback. Candidate feedback is what I want to unpack.
Yeah.
But what's keeping you up at night is the great.
Yeah, I'm happy to tell a story that happened to me today that I think is going to keep me up tonight, or maybe not out to this call. Not. But
we need more of these types of calls. They're like good therapy sessions. Yeah.
I give a lot of thought to the pressure put on TA for the following. I think we are always teaching and training about candidate experience or hiring manager satisfaction. So again, let's soothe the candidates, let's soothe the hiring managers, let's make them all so happy. And we've sort of neglected ourselves. And you could have the wall. You guys are the confident guys who can be like, screw everybody, which sort of works. But let's be honest, all of us have been hurt because those two parties have been soothed 100%. To hell. And then we're left like either unappreciated, unthanked, or even berated for something. And it's like, hold on, what about the recruiter experience?
Hard stop.
Yeah.
On airplanes, when they explain the oxygen mask, what do they say?
Put your own on first. I wrote a blog about that in 2014. I will send it to you. Yes.
Then that's the answer to the quandary.
Yeah.
You get recruiter satisfaction, then you worry about those other two bespoke audiences. But you got to satisfy yourself. You got to put on your mask for yourself.
Yep.
And then these other people, again, if you get to those other people, great. If you don't, that's great too, as long as you've taken care of yourself.
Yeah, I just know so many TA pros who feel this immense pressure to deliver and please and get back to everybody and do everything right. And I think it's like a ticking time bomb of perfectionism, because at some point you will mess up. Right. And that's what happened to me this morning. So I was telling William before, like, it's a hard thing for me to admit, except I know we've all been there. And so I want to talk about it. I have placed many people in the last 5 years, and many are very happy. I rarely hear from those people, but you hear from the ones who are miserable. And so I thought of someone I'd placed about 3 years ago today, and I sent her a little note on LinkedIn. It was just like, you crossed my mind. How are things? I see you landed a new job like 6 months ago. And I got back a scathing note of how she hated the job I placed her in. It was the most toxic environment she's ever been in. She can't believe I convinced her to go there. And it was the worst leader, the worst executive. I mean, it was really, really bad. And I, of course, immediately, my default is to feel guilt, to feel self-blame. Instead of screw her, I was like, what did I do wrong? So I continued to engage in it, which didn't help because she just kind of continued to attack. And I was saying, like, the hard part for me is to know that there are some of us that are going to be more like self-blaming when those things happen, and some that are going to be more like screw her and ignore her and delete her. And I think there is a happy medium in acknowledging we're going to mess up and hopefully do things better, but we cannot have that pressure that we're never going to mess up. And we also can't have that sort of flippancy of screw anybody we've hurt. So I'm trying to find the balance. So that's what keeps me up at night sometimes, Ryan. It's just that balance. Any wisdom is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, I think criticism is a part of the game. So first of all, if we start with criticism, so we're going to get to some of the other issues. Criticism in and of itself is not bad.
Right.
Whether or not it's constructive or positive reinforcement or whatever. And the idea of criticism, no one's above it. No one that we know and ourselves are not above criticism. But I think that you have to look at criticism not in the heat of the moment, but after the moment has passed, and objectively look at the criticism and go, okay, not blame, because blaming fixes nothing.
Right.
Guilt in and of itself fixes nothing unless it motivates to an action that fixes and helps. Other than guilt by itself, guilt is a net taker from your life.
Yep.
It doesn't add value. So I think if you objectively look at criticism and you say, does this make me better? Does this make me interact with clients in a better way? Does it help me place better? Does it help me ask more probative questions with clients, etc.? Like, deconstruct the entire criticism, all of it, and go, is this something that makes me better? And if it isn't, you don't engage in conversation.
Right.
And it's not like you throw them out of your LinkedIn network. You just leave the conversation. Yeah. And you don't think about it ever again.
Yeah.
Like it went in, it went out. You went through the process of really analyzing the criticism. And again, some criticism that you would not even think. Somebody just they're gaslighting you about something, and you're like, okay, let me wait. You go through it and you're like, that's fair. Like, it can actually help you.
Yeah.
There can be a couple of learns there. I mean, I don't know your full relationship with the candidate, but was it their first time? I mean, some of the things that come to my mind.
Good point.
Was it their first time using an external recruiter? Yeah. Right? A headhunter, right? Those that are watching, I'm using air quotes, the headhunter, right? It's the first time trusting somebody with their next career move, and they feel like they've been duped. They were kind of on the fence. You gave them a little bit. So those are some questions that come, not that you did anything wrong or she did anything wrong, but trying to look at but now that she's had this pent it up for 6 months, you said she changed jobs. Okay, you've reached out to her. Now it's time. Let me tell her how I feel.
Yeah.
But now it's gone, right? So now there potentially could be some constructive conversation there, or something that you potentially could learn. And say, okay, this was her first time. Maybe for my next first time candidate, I need to consider a couple of things.
Yeah.
There are some good and bad things that could happen using an external recruiter.
Like I like that, because that becomes probative. When you have the next person, let's say that they haven't been through this process, say, listen, you might feel that we go through this process and you get placed and you just don't like it, and you're going to want to put blame on somebody. And so naturally you would want to blame me. Here's the deal. Don't accept the job.
Correct.
Or if you get in the job and you realize it's a toxic environment, why'd you stay 2.5 years?
Yeah.
There's a responsibility on the candidate.
Yeah.
I think, again, explaining that to them. So I think that's probably an explanation for everybody, every candidate. It's just like, hey, listen,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and put you in the best position possible so that you can get the job. That job, I only know certain things about it. No matter what I
Yeah.
do, looking at Glassdoor, probative questions, no matter what I do, toxicity, like for Ryan, is different than it is for
Yeah,
me.
you've said that to me. It's very personal, like what we all would consider a good environment or a bad environment or a good culture.
Very different.
I like high candor.
Right.
I like a candorous environment where people will just say what there is on their mind and they get over it really quickly.
Yeah.
So I have something hard to say, we say it, I hear it, okay, and then we don't talk about it again. Like I like
He
that
often
environment.
dismisses it.
But like passive aggressive, like passive aggressive stuff,
No bueno.
I don't thrive in that environment. So like toxicity is again subjective.
Yeah.
And your definition of toxicity. So I think that's explaining to both the hiring manager and the candidates around, hey, listen, there's only so much of this that I can control.
Yes.
And so you've got to take ownership
Yeah.
of the things that you can control.
Yeah, I think, and I know I remind candidates of this, but Ryan, thank you for reminding me again, especially for the first people that I'm working with. They might feel like what I'm doing is selling because they're not used to having an advocate. Although, as you all know, I'm the least salesy person we know.
Right.
That is New York.
Yeah,
behind
you just heard a little of that. Yeah, but I could be the least salesy person we know, and to someone who has never had that middle person working with them, they could feel like I'm pushing the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, but
I have no dog in this hunt. Here's the deal. Here's where I make money. So we all
I'm
kind of
always
understand.
happy when candidates pull out, like after first round or something, and they're like, "This isn't from," like, okay, thank you, save time. Like, I don't care. I'd rather and I always say to them, as long as you can back your gut feeling up with some facts so that you know what it was and we can actually use that productively. But look, 5 years ago, I would have gone through my email chain and like convinced myself that I did everything right. I'm not doing that today. Like, I'm not going down a self-blame spiral. I'm just trying to catch. I caught the hook, right? It was like, oh, that rattled me for a minute. It reminded me that we are not flawless people, that we will piss people off no matter what, that if you try to please every single applicant, candidate, client, hiring manager, you cannot. You cannot.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not your job. And look, there's no difference between this situation and a realtor.
Right.
The realtor finds you the house. You get in the house and that roof shits the bed.
That's on
You've
you,
had
Holly.
the inspection.
Yeah,
like
you.
you bought it. You had the inspection, right? And so it's not the realtor's fault for finding you a dog.
That'd be a great bit to do, a buyer beware deal where you just say, hey, listen, you're buying, those cars where they have the little tags, it's like you're buying as is.
Yeah.
Usually they're at used car lots, and it's like you're buying, you're not getting a warranty.
Yeah.
You're buying it as it is.
Yeah.
She just wrapped the resume with the digital ribbon, says as is.
As is.
Well, you guys know I love taking notes, which I will write out for us later, but like I just wrote down, which is so smart, Ryan, is like the interview is the inspection period.
Yeah.
So it's like they have an opportunity to do all of that more than I
Both
can
sides.
do. Even more than
Both
I
sides.
can do, right? Because they're in it and they're really asking. Like I always say to them, you're going to ask stuff I would not think to ask. Go. So be the inspector, but exactly, it's nobody's fault if something goes awry.
And both of them are inspectors.
Correct.
So in that particular instance, both of them are inspectors. One's inspecting talent, the other is inspecting the job, the team, the company,
the employer,
the leader, the employer, etc. So they're both doing an inspection. They're both crawling through the attic space. And in my case, we have it's pier and beam, so the crawl space, right? They're both crawling through all that stuff to figure out what's right or wrong with the house. And there's no house that's perfect, or condo or apartment or whatever. There's no one that's perfect. So I want to get back to your idea on TA and why they think that perfectionism is the game.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think that comes from? I've heard it. You're not the first to say it, by the way.
Yeah,
I've heard it from other people.
I guess I can only really, I guess I'll just speak from personal experience. Maybe that's the easiest way, because I digest as I talk, so I'll just kind of speak in stream of consciousness. I mean, I think there's a desire to do the job well, and there's no real tangible, I mean, yes, I guess placing the candidate is the tangible, you've done a job well. But the real feel good part is when they tell you, like, thank you so much. I love my new job, or I love my new person you found me. I know.
Well,
and I hear you, because it doesn't happen often. It's a very crazy goal.
Why would you give that person that much power over your happiness?
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you?
I know.
I mean, first of all, if that happens, great. Happy accident. Cool.
Sure.
Got you. Whatever. But like, you're hinging on someone else being rational and then thanking somebody. So it's like you've got a high bar. The person's got to be thoughtful.
Let me flip it, because maybe that's too like woo-woo feeling language. Okay. All right. When I'm training internal TA pros,
right,
a big fear they have is I have to tell the CFO that he's doing a bad job hiring. So, and they'll tell me like all these things they're doing wrong. And they're like,
yeah, that's why they hired you.
That's the job.
But they fear it. And this is the things they're openly telling me, which they haven't, they're scared to say to anybody else. I'm scared to tell the CFO the things they're doing wrong, because I don't want to upset them. I know this is going to blow your mind, William. I hear a lot. I want them to like me. I want them to think, I know, but I'm just telling you what I hear. So there's an innate feeling of, I want everything kind of just going well. And I want like a symbiotic, happy little thing. And we all know that the job entails some tension, in the sense that you have to call stuff out. But that is where the blocks usually are. And I do think it ties into the perfectionism. It's like I'm so scared if I tell the head of something, this thing, they're going to be mad at me.
Here's a way that you can easily, and they can easily get past that, is you're talking to the CFO is a great example. It's like, listen, how do you like your feedback?
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh, what do you mean? Well, I've got some hiring feedback that I need to give you, but I can give it to you in a lot of different ways. So how do you like your feedback? Give it to me straight. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You suck at hiring.
Sure.
Let's just start with the basics.
Right.
Like, you're horrible. Now, and here's why.
Yeah.
Here's the data that supports that. Here's how we can
They will respect that.
Of course.
100%.
Of course.
They will respect that. Yeah.
But you don't just give them feedback. You ask them, hey man, like,
how do you want it?
How do you want it? I got it. My job. You hired me to do this job.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this job, and I have to give you feedback. I give every hiring manager feedback. So how do you want it? And then let them
bedside manner.
Dictate. Yeah, let them dictate all right, just kind of sum it up, like, what's the deal? We need to put you through interview school. Okay, that's what we need to do. We'll spend maybe 3 hours this week, 2 hours next week. We're going to get you where you ask the questions that you need to be asking, because the candidates are having a horrible experience, and we're going to have a hard time placing great people.
Yep.
And it's something we can fix.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Like, now I accept that feedback. I might not like it. So what? Like, if we're in the business of telling people what they like, we're in the wrong fucking business.
I know, but there's a lot of it going on. We get it.
Yeah.
And
there's
every recruiter operated that way, we wouldn't even really have anything to talk about. This is the stuff I'm seeing.
Yeah.
It's a fear.
No,
There's a lot of fear here. And the fear is based in insecurity. And I think the fear is based in just wanting everything copacetic. And
the fear of retribution.
Correct.
And
especially in this kind of a market, right? A lot of people are already kind of nervous, and they feel.
For me, it's either a competence issue or a confidence issue. Maybe the nexus of the intersection.
Yeah, a lot of confidence problem, more than competence, because confidence.
I don't think a recruiter should be going into a CFO, number one, to tell them you suck at it. Like, there's other people 30 levels in between that should be having that conversation. That said, yeah, it's not easy to go into somebody and stare them in the eye, knowing that they're the CFO, they're making $500,000, $1.5 million, $2 million, and you're making $80,000. Right? There's a confidence gap there to sit in front of somebody and say, look, how do you want your feedback? That's not our job. That's not your job as a recruiter. Now, if they're hiring you to go in and have that conversation, well, then hell yeah, you're on an even playing field. They're bringing you in.
On the outside, it's fun for me to do it. I never have that fear.
100%.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I think the internal recruiters, and it's funny you brought the salary up. A lot of them have used that with me when they're crying and feeling insecure. They'll say to me, I make so little. I'm not a big fish in this pond. Like they really feel it. So I don't want to dismiss that. I think it's actually a problem in our space where, and it's a million things, right? They haven't been empowered. They haven't been paid well enough. They don't feel important and valued in the organization. They, all the things. They've seen everyone go to search in their firm and never really trust internal. So, but they're still struggling with that confidence. And I think that, if you're looking at competence versus confidence, most recruiters I know are pretty competent at the job. The skills of recruiting are relatively straightforward, of course, with areas for tweaking, but it's the confidence building that I feel like is the hardest part.
Is there a gender thing in here?
I would imagine, since I'm the one woman on this panel struggling the most with this. Yeah.
Oh no. We're just able to speak confidently about it because we're not in that job.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. But I mean, in all the folks that you interact with.
Yeah, it's mostly women with this problem. Absolutely. Not exclusively, but certainly. And I think that women who have to do it to men it's harder. And I think that for sure.
Why is it harder?
Well, because men can be very, they can come across as more confident in business, even if they're not, just sometimes 100%. By the delivery or by the.
No, we popped out of the womb confident. We're good.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of delivery and diction and approach. And sometimes there's nuances. And I think, even like, I'm sure you guys have done like those DISC trainings over time, like depending on all that stuff, like how you feel in business, how you approach things, all play in. It's not one thing, right? It's one of those kind of, like, I am a very confident woman and a very confident business owner.
100%.
And these are things that that still rattle me sometimes. And I think it's important we own that. Like, I don't think any of us are impervious of moments of, that triggered me a little bit. Whoops,
No. Nobody likes to lay people off. Nobody likes to fire people unless you hate the person. You're affecting people, their families, their dependents, everything.
And look at like internal TA pros right now, right? A lot of their teams have been downsized. They've been laid off. They've been through layoffs. They're feeling financially insecure. They're feeling maybe insecure about their career. Then you land a job and you're in that headspace, and now a candidate's pissed at you and a hiring manager's pissed at you. It's like you're already kind of getting beaten down. It's a hard space to induce a lot of confidence in. And it's my biggest goal is that we as a community just remember our worth. It's like we are needed. Internal recruiters are needed and external recruiters are needed.
Yeah. It's funny as you guys are saying all this stuff, I'm listening, and this morning I listened to an interview with Dombrowski, president of operations baseball Phillies. Yep. Which we don't hold a candle to your Yankees. I get it. We'll just say that's the only thing good out of New York, and even that's suspect. Anyhow, I can go down a whole path on this.
I know. These are a real trigger for a lot of folks. Yep.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So the where was I go? Oh, so they were talking about, we're at the end of spring training now. Like the first big cuts are happening. Yep. Now's the first. How do you tell someone, thank you for your service, but you're getting cut, or you're getting relegated back, reassigned back down to AAA, when they've worked the last 15 years to get to this moment? And he's like, no one likes to do it, but we don't tell stories. We just rip it off, and we just say, look, we're sending you back down to AAA. We want to see you in another year. Good luck. And that's it. That's the whole conversation.
Yeah. So there's a bit in Moneyball where Brad Pitt does this bit where he's very matter of fact. Guy comes in, Jason Giambi or whoever it was, and he's just like, "Hey, you've been traded. Here's the person that's going to handle your travel. Good luck to
Peace out.
you. And that's it. And that there is no, and then he makes the other character, I can't think of his name right now. He makes him fire someone or let someone go, tell him he's been training. And so he did the same thing. So he went into it, and he's nervous, and he just went through and laid out all the facts. And the guy, there's this pause where you think it's about to be physical. He's like, okay, all right, thanks.
Yeah. Now different, I get it,
That's
right?
different.
Like it's different, but it's kind of not. Like if I was being fired, if I was being let go, I would much rather walk into an office and someone say, "How's your day going, man? How you been?" Like now you're just blowing smoke up my ass. Like just
Right.
tell me.
Yeah.
I say, "Hey, look, we're having some changes. It's time to go."
Yeah.
I'd rather that for me.
So how is this tying
then-
in? How did your brain connect the dots between this and the confidence stuff we're talking about?
Because everyone has to do stuff that they don't want to do.
Mm.
And so
Yeah.
firing is on the
firing, laying off is
Yeah.
it's a part
Yeah.
of it. It's
Yeah.
like it's a part
Yeah.
of the job that you don't really want
Yeah.
to do. Like I've told people
Yeah.
about HR, the only thing that you can't fuck up is payroll. Everything else, mistakes are made.
Yeah.
Right.
That's usually how I refer to my childhood or early adulthood. Was big mistakes were made. That's it. There's nothing else to say there. So I think for me, it's the ability to then say, okay, hey, listen, like I love this idea that we're going to get hiring right, because you're never going to get hiring right. I mean, you're not supposed to get hiring right. It's a war of attrition. You try to get it more right than wrong.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a tallest midget competition. You're always going to have failure, and that's just a part of it. No one gets it right.
Yeah.
Like I've been asked, like y'all have been asked, like who does it really well? Like they'll never tell you
Exactly.
because it's become a competitive advantage for them.
Yeah.
So you're never going to know who does it well. Do it as well as you can do it.
Yeah.
But the last thing I wanted to kind of unpack is why guilt? Where does the guilt come? I mean, like I'm Catholic,
Yeah.
and a lot of my friends are Jewish, and so like we out guilt each other,
Yes.
right? So it's
You
like
were raised in guilt.
we're just raised steeped in guilt. So like, is it your childhood? Is it a part of the profession? Like, where's the guilt come
Yeah.
from?
I mean, I was raised Catholic too, so there's an innate guilt, I think, in that.
Right.
My Jewish friends have a different type of guilt. It's not as self-blaming. It's more like my mom might be mad, but it's not.
Right.
Okay, so that's different. I think, this is probably, gosh, you're making my brain go real deep on the subconscious. And I think when I started in staffing in 2003, the money was such a motivator for me at 22 years old, / the way
Right.
the business ran, that it was like, you better please everybody in your orbit. Everybody's a potential client. Everybody's a potential candidate. You don't want to lose them. You want to get them away from our competitor. I mean, it was like Sharky. And I kind of could do that. I knew how to be competitive and I understood
Right.
the concept of it. So if you made a misstep, it felt like you'd screw your whole year up or you'd screw the whole business up. It was like so much pressure on, especially I was doing temp recruiting then too. And it'd be like, oh, we lost it to another agency. Like, there's probably that subconscious feeling of like, you gotta be superior than everybody else. You have to be better than everybody else. And I'm a very
Right.
competitive person. Even though I don't like that part of myself, it's like just there. And so I think there's a guilt when you mess up that like this candidate that I pissed off today, like now she's going to love another recruiter and it's not going to be me, and how shitty for me, which is an honest answer. And it's not like, I don't love that about myself. It's probably just the truth of like, you want to make sure everybody thinks you're great so that your business is even not just for your own ego, but for your financial success too.
But do you want them to think that you're great more than you think that you're great?
No, I want a steady flow of business. And I think, again, it's probably more financial than I realize. Like if there's
Right.
happy customers and happy people out there, then they keep coming to me. You piss a few off
Right.
and it's like, oh crap.
Gotcha.
I think I know
Yeah.
most of the time I'm great. But if they don't think I'm great, they're not going to give me business, right? I mean, there's a little bit of that That's the real deep subconscious that I haven't thought about till right now. So thank you for that. It's probably more financial than I'm maybe giving it credit for.
Right.
You don't really want to ruffle feathers if it's going to ruffle the business, but will it?
I think ruffling the feathers for me
is
the business.
Yeah.
Because you're the expert.
Yeah.
If you're not ruffling feathers, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're order taking.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not an order taker.
Yeah.
Like, you have internal people that do that shit for you. Like, you've got to be the one, in my opinion, that does shake them up. And take confidence in that and just go, hey, listen, you're hiring me for a reason or not.
Yeah.
And this is the expertise that I bring to the table. And then if they've got issues, they have issues problem.
Yeah, I love when you say it's a they problem. I've written that down for you before.
Well, we used to say YPMP, right? Your problem, my problem.
Oh, I never heard that. Yeah, I love that.
You never heard that? YPMP. Well, you just shortchange it, and you like somebody would say something, you say YP.
I love that.
Meaning that's on you, homie. That's not on me. You're saying as if it is on me. Nah, I've already put that back on you. Have a nice day. So, but anyhow, I wanted to unpack the guilt thing.
Thank you. Yeah, I think
you've been wonderful. Ryan, did you? Oh yeah.
No, I could continue to talk and share war stories and go through this whole thing, but
let's do a
I'm
sequel.
good.
If people have a lot of questions, we'll do a follow-up.
Exactly.
Therapy session.
We do a call-in show.
We'll invite people on, and we'll do a big old call. We'll have a line.
Maybe we can hire a clinical psychologist to help us unpack this a little bit as well.
Oh yeah.
We got William. That's what he's for.
No, but
he's fuck him.
Yeah.
He is good. He is good at this.
Well, it comes that mentality, as I tell my kids about cursing. It comes with consequences. I've lost business because I've been too candid. I've lost business because I've cursed. I've lost business. So there's way you appease people. Like my wife, it's very similar personality. Like when people meet her, they automatically like her. With people when they meet me, it's about 50-50. 50% of them want to put a knife in my throat, and the other 50%, will tolerate me. But if someone ever says to me, I don't really get your wife, I automatically know they're fucked up. Because everyone gets my wife. And so that appeasement part of your personality, I don't think you can change that. But I think you can kind of stick up for your expertise in a very confident way that just says, you're going to meet me here. This sounds like a Rumi quote, but it's not. You're going to meet me here, or you're not going to meet me here.
Yeah.
And if you choose not to, that's cool.
Yeah.
And there's a way to position it where, obviously. And I will say one story I'll share is I've, on that note, William, on opposite side, I've lost business by being too nice. And you've seen it. You've seen it. Like, let's do this. Absolutely, we can do it. Now I've taken on too much.
Yeah.
Right.
I've taken on too much and I can't make them happy, but I've crossed the line of them not being happy regardless of how good we do.
Yep.
That's right.
Right. And so at that point, what do? You go to the client and say, hey, look, I've done way too much here and I'm never going to make you happy. Now they're pissed off that you're not completing it. So, I've lost business that way for me. So I don't know. I think it's more of an experience thing for me that has given me the confidence to just say, no, here's that line.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Here's that line. Right. But listening to you talk, I think back to my temp staffing days when I was at Apple One and Contemporary and all those others, right? Like a long time ago. I'm thinking, man, I remember just running. We'd put 40 people in a call center. The next day we had to put 30 more back in because 30 of them didn't show up. And it was just I felt good when we filled them. Like, yeah, look at that. Look what I just did. Tomorrow I got to do the same thing. And I can always do it. But that mentality carried with me for a lot of years on over-pleasing, thinking I was over-pleasing. The client was pissed.
Yeah.
The client was pissed off that people were leaving. Why aren't you vetting them better? Why aren't you giving us better people? I'm thinking, I'm getting you people every time there's a problem. I'm not solving it. I'm enabling it. And that's just kind of how it went. It took a long time to get past that.
Yeah. I think you just explained boundaries, which we do learn as we get more experience. It's like we learn how we like to work, and we learn what will make us resentful and when it's fun or not fun. And like to William, it's not fun to educate it all along a process. To me, it's fun. I'm not saying I sit there and show them exactly how I source, but I'm saying it's fun.
No, he educates in his own way.
Exactly. I know how
I learn a lot.
I know how I like to work, and if it's fun, it's fun, and when it's not, it's not. I think these are things you learn with time, and now. Yeah. We learn a lot more of like what makes a good customer and a good relationship.
It's the relationship part of that is what you're willing to tolerate.
Yes.
In time, you both in personal relationships and professional relationship, you learn more about what you're willing and not willing to tolerate in a relationship.
I was just showing William, I'm literally going to be sending out a bunch of handwritten cards. I thought this would be a fun old school move today, and I've just been writing them out all week. And I'm writing to anybody that I think has been kind to me in this business. And it's feeling very good to me because it's like, you know what? There are a lot of people who've been unkind, and kindness is so important to me. And so I don't know if that
and then you
matters
find out the cost.
But
then you find out the cost of stamps, and you can't send them for fixed.
I know. And I got the fancy note cards that were not cheap. So pretty. All right.
Oh shit! We still have our thank you cards for a wedding 18 years ago, sitting here, literally in a box. I'll show you guys next time. Like literally in a box, there are thank you cards for the wedding, along with the paper of what the gifts were.
You should send them to me. It's such a cathartic thing for me to write out.
My wife had that shit.
Oh no, they're written.
Oh.
We wrote them.
Just never mailed them.
Never sent them.
Fascinating.
Dude, you should mail those now. 20 years later,
I love that.
Just to get them in the mail and go post office.
Oh man,
that's funny.
I had the post office mess up 400 invitations.
It's like the
got
pony
trapped behind the machine.
Yeah, the ponies put them from Mexico and back.
Laura, thank you for coming on the show. You've been amazing.
Thank you for sharing your time. See you guys soon.
All righty.
You got it.
Take
and
care.
If you're still watching, subscribe, like, love us everywhere. If you see us, wave to us. We may wave back to you if you're lucky.